When I first found out that I was pregnant, I was not very happy about it. It was completely unexpected. I was absolutely distraught. I didn't know who to turn to, I didn't know where to go, and I couldn't accept it or even begin to acknowledge it. My name's Leah Parsons. This is my daughter Jacie. She was born on the 29th of July. So the first person I went to was the midwife. I explained the situation to her. I didn't hold anything back. I explained exactly how I was feeling. They referred me to the perinatal mental health team. I went to the hospital and had a meeting with them. So I left that meeting feeling that there was help around and that they might be able to do something about it. So I felt quite positive. The next thing I knew, I had a phone call from my midwife. She just thought she'd drop me a line after the meeting to say that she had serious concerns about me and was going to refer me to social services in line with safeguarding children and mothers. I did say to her, well, hang on a minute, you asked me to be as honest as possible. Nobody ever said that this was going to happen. And she said she was going to refer me regardless of whether or not I gave consent. It was up to me whether I could sign the form, but she'd send it off anyway. I didn't want to go to social services and I didn't want them getting involved, and I decided to just pretend that nothing was going wrong. That was good for me in the fact that social services closed my case, but it was very bad for me in the fact that I spent the next up until the birth, worried, panicking, stressed, crying all the time. I think that it should be clearly explained the processes that midwives have to go by law to safeguard the mother and child, to avoid any trust being broken later on. I feel that there was excessive questioning done to me by the midwives with regards to rights to the baby and adoption. When somebody's in that state of mind, is it really a good idea for them to be making decisions that could affect the rest of their lives? I think they should have backed off, waited till she was born, given me a bit of time. Had they forced me into an answer then, which I thought they were going to, I think I would have given a very different answer to yes, I'll keep her and yes, I'll be fine. The midwives decided that I needed to make a birth plan. I hadn't accepted the pregnancy. I just was in complete denial about the whole thing, so I didn't really want to talk about the birth plan. I think that birth plans are a little bit overrated. I think they give unrealistic expectations of what you can have during the birth. I don't know anybody that has actually made a birth plan and it's been followed word for word. I decided that what will be on the day will be. I understand that the baby's going to come out. I'll take as many drugs as possible to relieve the pain, and that's all I want to say. They weren't happy with that. They wanted me to go into more detail. Because I said no, then they said, oh well, we're coming up with more safeguarding issues if you won't discuss it, so I had to make the birth plan. When it came down to it, 2 weeks before Jacie was due to be born, the midwives came to see me and they checked my tummy and they said everything was fine, the head was engaged, ready to come out, so I could give birth naturally, no problems at all. And then they sent me in for an emergency scan because they said she wasn't growing. When I got there, the scan revealed that she was actually in the breech position and had been at every scan I'd been to. So I asked the midwives, well, why didn't you notice this? And they said, oh, the tummy check that they do, you can't really tell which end's the head and which end's the backside. So what's the point in that? Why would anybody do that test? For someone that was concerned about the birth and the whole situation as I was, and they knew that, they were supposed to be making my time easier and they potentially made it a lot worse. After the birth, the planned cesarean went exceptionally well. The whole of the staff were just absolutely brilliant. They didn't frighten me, they didn't scare me, they were supportive, they did everything they could to help me with Jacie initially. And we're getting on fine now. I got used to having her around and yeah, things are looking up.